Before we get into the episode today, once again, this video is sponsored by me and my friend Paula and our new virtual platform called the Esoteric Academy. As many of you know, I am the only female in the state of Georgia to be authorized by KPJAYI. And as we're in this moment in time of awareness, of awakening, we now have to start to take responsibility for not only our spiritual life, but for our health and wellness too, which is basically one and the same. So I have taken all my years of knowledge and information, and I have combined with my friend Paula to put all this information onto a virtual platform. There are courses over the Bhagavad Gita, the Alchemy of Movement course. I'm about to finish up a whole new course. It's going to be presented on the platform soon. We also have meditations. We also have the academics of spirituality, as well as my favorite library, which is the exercise classes. Because exercise is so important to your overall health and to your spirituality, I have taken everything that I have learned in India through traditional yoga, and I've incorporated those principles and practices into more modern and easier accessible exercises. We have a library full of them, from 30 minutes to 60 minutes to 75 minutes to 90 minutes, and every single month about 3 to 4 new workout videos will drop, and the library will just keep growing. With this academy, every time we drop something new on the academy, nothing else will be deleted or removed, so the library will just keep growing. And this gives you the opportunity to work at your own pace in your own home with your own intuition. Now, right now, we are running a soft launch special. So for right now, up until February 20th of 2025, tuition is only $25 a month. That is basically the price of a drop-in to a one day, one class drop-in to a yoga studio, and you get all of that for only $25 a month. I mean, we're talking thousands of dollars worth of courses. Now, if you join us in the soft launch phase, and if you sign up for the Esoteric Academy before the grand opening, which is February 20th, your tuition will be locked in at $25 a month. So at the grand opening, February 20th, we are going to up the tuition to $40 a month. But if you buy now, if you sign up now, your tuition will never be raised. You will stay at $25 a month. For more information on the Esoteric Academy, there is a link down in the description box below. With that being said, let's get on to the show. The things that these people get up to would never even cross your mind, and that's what's so fascinating, is how does a human being with a life force inside of them decide to get into this shenanigans? But that's very fascinating. And so she passed away in 2001. So does she have children or anything? Are there any living relatives?
No record of children or marriage, although there was some other stuff where she evidently posed on at least one occasion as the wife and mother of a husband, quote unquote, and of children who were not hers. So, and I go into some detail about that in the book. But having spoken to people who knew her, it's a really weird story. She was involved in some really strange activity, and I believe nearly always on behalf of the cult.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us about Ace Brown.
Yeah, Ace was, you could write a book about him on his own. He was a pimp who serviced a lot of different clients, but he knew about the cult. They were, regular customers of his, as it were, and he knew other people also who brought children to the cult. And he was apparently very talkative to the police at one point, and then he lawyered up, and I'm not sure if he ever did another interview with the police again, but Maury detailed extensively in the files his you know, the research he had done on Ace and all the stuff that Ace remembered, because he was his real name was Walter, and he was known in the community. You know, apparently you'd see his name in the paper now and then, and he serviced celebrity and pseudo celebrity clients in New York City, but he also had lived in Yonkers and knew a lot of the local characters there. He knew David Burkowitz. He knew about all these people in the cult, and he did share a lot of really specific information in a couple of interviews before he decided to clam up. But yeah, he was considered Maury's number one flipper. But his knowledge of the cult was extensive because he had gone back and forth through the park, and you know, he and other friends of his in the same line of business had provided children to the cult over the years.
What I understood is that he was involved with running teenagers, particularly runaways, out of Port Authority in Manhattan.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The Process Church didn't exist anymore, at least by name. Okay.
Right.
It had disbanded in 1974. Prior to that, it had footprints in major cities, New York, New Orleans, Los Angeles, other places. But you know, what you have to remember is, just because it's done as far as an organization, what happens to the people? Okay, so the people are still living their lives, doing what they do, and they could have been behind a lot of this, right? That was going on by 1976.
Well, just because they
so.
officially say it's done doesn't mean it's done. You know, I kind of have that book.
Yeah.
You know, like they could have just said it's done, and it's totally, you know, and that gets into like the Scientology aspect with L. Ron Hubbard, which obviously was a, you know, so I think this whole homeless guy. I mean, these guys are like, I mean, I hate that they're homeless, but the fact they see stuff, they literally see stuff that normal people aren't going to witness, and so.
And this book has a part where it explains how Burkowitz met John and Michael Carr, okay, who lived in Yonkers. Okay, he was living in the in probably either New Rochelle or in the Pelham section of the Bronx at the time, and they met at a party, like you just said, Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
And in this book particular, the Carrs told Burkowitz, you need to go down and get a Satanic Bible. Okay, and which he did. He went to the Magical Child bookstore, like you mentioned earlier, and got that Bible, and then became part of this crew of people. But again, he wasn't living in Yonkers at that point, but he would soon put in for an application for 35 Pine Street, okay, which would put him right in the center of Yonkers, basically within a short distance of Untermeyer Park, and back practically around the corner from where the Carr brothers lived. I've discussed this in Son of Sam Chronicles. I've discussed this in other shows with Bryce. I believe that he moved there specifically to be closer to the action.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yes, I really do. Yeah.
Okay.